It began in the kitchen, once a space filled with the sounds of shared meals and easy laughter. But that day, every sound felt sharp, like glass cracking under pressure. Across from me stood my sister, Brianna, face flushed, hands balled into fists. Her voice shot across the room like broken glass. "I told you not to touch my stuff," she shouted, shoving a chair out of her way. "I didn't," I said, clutching the glass of water I came in for, the only thing I had touched. "I don't even go into your room." Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching this video from. But it didn't matter. She charged at me without hesitation. 1 second I was blinking, and the next I was slammed into the refrigerator, her elbow jamming into my rib cage with brutal force. I heard a crack. My knees gave out. The glass slipped from my hand and shattered on the floor. I gasped, clutching my side as heat and pain climbed my spine like fire. "Mom!" I cried out, struggling to stand. "She hit me. Something's wrong. I can't breathe properly." From the living room came a slow, annoyed voice. "Oh, come on, not this again." I turned toward the hallway, hoping for concern, but my mom didn't even get up from the couch. She didn't even ask if I was okay. She didn't even look at me. She just sighed and rolled her eyes like I was ruining her evening. She didn't mean it. "Don't be so dramatic." And then, without hesitation, "And don't even think about calling the police. That'll mess up her chances. She's still job hunting." I stared at her in disbelief. I was 23, working part-time, juggling classes, scraping together enough to escape that house. Brianna was 25, unemployed, volatile, and apparently untouchable, the golden girl who could do no wrong. When I told them I thought she'd broken something in me, my mom literally laughed. "It's probably just bruised. Take some Tylenol and stop ruining the night." That night, I lay on my bed struggling to breathe, my phone trembling in my hands. I wanted to call for help, but I had no health insurance, cut off at 18, no emergency fund, no safety net. Every dollar I'd made gone into groceries that mysteriously turned into Brianna's eyelash appointments, club nights, or delivery orders. Mom always found a way to take, and Brianna always benefited. The next morning, I dragged myself into the kitchen, each breath shallow. And there she was, humming like nothing had happened, sipping from a glass of orange juice I had paid for. She saw me, smirked, and said, "You always bruise like a peach." I wanted to scream, to throw something, but I didn't. I sat, I breathed through the pain, and I started planning. Because suddenly I remembered, Brianna had spent years tearing me down. She'd stolen friends, lied to family, even told one of my exes that I had cheated on her just so she could take him for herself. But now, for once, she had something to lose, a future she was desperately clinging to. And I had something even better. Receipts. I limped to the bathroom, locked the door, and lifted my shirt. The bruises were spreading, purple centers surrounded by sick yellow edges. I filmed everything, the bruising, the swelling, my gasping voice every time I moved, the audio from the night before, my mom's cold words. "Don't call the cops, it'll ruin her chances." I backed up the files, emailed them to myself, and told no one. But something in me had broken, just like that rib. I wasn't going to protect them anymore. I wasn't going to play the family scapegoat, not for Brianna and not for my mother. They had painted the same story for years. Brianna, the misunderstood, beautiful dreamer, trying to turn her life around. And me, the emotional one, the dramatic sister, the one who always made things worse. Not this time. Not after what she did. Not after what I was about to do. 3 days passed. I didn't speak to Brianna. I didn't sit at the dinner table. I didn't react when Mom made her usual snide comments. "Still in a mood? Brianna's got a big interview tomorrow. Don't bring your energy into it." Every word they said only added fuel to a fire they didn't know was already burning underneath them. I made my way to urgent care on my own, clutching my side. Each breath felt like swallowing glass. The doctor confirmed what I already suspected, a fractured rib. He raised an eyebrow when I said I had fallen, but I didn't need his sympathy. I needed paperwork. I paid using a borrowed credit card. Mine had been maxed out years ago during one of Mom's many emergencies. When I got home, Brianna was grinning about her upcoming job interview. It was at a respected publishing company downtown. They want someone authentic, fresh, she said, twirling her hair like she hadn't broken a bone in my body. I waited. That night, the night before her interview, she left her laptop open on a dining room table. I saw her resume, her references. One name stood out, Professor Aldridge, the same woman Brianna had publicly cursed out on Twitter 2 years ago for failing her final project. I took a photo of the screen. I took a deep breath. And then I made the call. I contacted the company's HR department. I told them who I was. I explained what had happened. I sent them photos of the bruises, the medical report, the voice memo of my mother saying, "Don't call the cops, it'll ruin her chances." I didn't exaggerate. I didn't twist anything. I told the truth, and I ended with this. This is the kind of person you're considering to represent your company. I didn't hear back right away, but I didn't need to. The next morning, Brianna left the house wearing a blazer she didn't buy and a necklace she had taken from me, the one our grandmother left specifically to me in her will. But Mom had said, "Let her have it, she'll wear it more." By noon, she came home, face flushed, eyes wide, mouth trembling. She threw her purse across the living room and screamed, "Someone ruined everything." I stood silently in the hallway, listening. "They knew things, all of it," she cried. "They said they got an anonymous file with evidence, assault, falsified references, everything." Mom was horrified, not by what Brianna had done, but by the fact that someone had dared expose it. "Who would do this to you, baby?" she asked, rubbing her back. Brianna turned and locked eyes with me. "You," she growled. I tilted my head. Funny how the truth always finds its way back, huh? That night, the house imploded. Brianna threw a plate, Mom screamed. I locked my bedroom door and smiled. The dominoes had only started to fall. The next morning, Brianna got the official email. She was blacklisted from the publisher's recruitment list. They'd also forwarded a formal complaint to her alma mater. They were now investigating her resume, the one I knew she had padded with fake internship hours, and I knew exactly where to point them. Meanwhile, I started gathering every receipt, every Venmo request, every transfer labeled grocery money that turned into lashes, booze, or hotel rooms. I sent it all to a nonprofit legal group that helps with financial abuse cases. Turns out, theft is still theft, even if it's your mom. They offered to help me file charges. I didn't say a word to my family until the day I left. I packed my things, printed the medical report, and placed a copy on the kitchen counter next to the one document they hadn't seen yet, the eviction notice. They didn't know that years ago, my grandfather had added my name to the house deed as a precaution. He had never trusted my mother, not with money, not with anything. That lost inheritance, she said, vanished. It had quietly grown in a trust fund, and I used it to buy the house out from under them. When they walked in and saw the envelope with my name on the letterhead, their expressions shifted fast, from confusion to anger to fear. "You can't do this," Mom stammered, her voice finally trembling. "I already did," I said calmly. "Don't worry, I gave you 30 days. Brianna lunged at me, again, like that would fix anything. I didn't move, I didn't blink. I just said one word, police. She screamed again, but I wasn't listening anymore. I wasn't afraid anymore. This wasn't just about one fight. This wasn't just about a broken rib. This was about years. Years of being the scapegoat. Years of being the easy target when bills were late, when money disappeared, when things broke. This was about reclaiming my story. The police arrived. Brianna locked herself in the bathroom sobbing. Mom begged me, "Don't press charges, you'll ruin her entire future." I looked her in the eyes and said, "She ruined mine the night I couldn't breathe." They were given 48 hours. They left without saying goodbye. Brianna stormed out with 2 trash bags and no plan. Mom screamed behind her. Dad didn't look at me. He just stared at the floor. When the house finally went silent, I stood in the hallway. No yelling, no slamming doors, no Brianna pretending she was untouchable. Just peace. A week later, I painted over the holes in the walls, threw out old furniture, scrubbed out the memory of them. And then I did something bold. I turned Brianna's old room into an art studio, the very dream they always told me would never pay rent. Then I opened my email and finally said yes to a scholarship I had deferred. They wanted me back, not as a mess, as a student, as myself. And I went, not with shame, with freedom. Months passed, my art took off online. I started freelancing for brands Brianna once begged for interviews at. My professors praised me. I found my voice, slowly, then all at once. One day, I got a message on LinkedIn. "Did you really ruin your sister's life just to get ahead?" I smiled. Typed back, "No, I rebuilt mine. She just got caught in the fallout of what she broke." Then I logged off. Last I heard, Brianna was couch surfing in another city. My parents moved in with a relative who wasn't as blind to their patterns. And me? I spend holidays with people who ask how I'm really doing and actually care about the answer. On my second graduation day, I wore the necklace Grandma left me, and as I stepped across the stage, I whispered, "This is for every time they told me to stay quiet." The applause didn't shake the room. It didn't need to. Because this time, I was the one holding the pen. And the ending? It was finally mine. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching this video from.